Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it's for Friday, the 14th of January. Here we go. Today, a couple of early morning halachas for you. Number one, in the early morning when you're just coming out of your house, let's say, and you haven't davened yet. So, because you haven't yet greeted and spoken to God, the Creator of the world, to give giant greetings to people before you give a big greeting to God is considered improper. So when you meet someone in the morning and you walk over to them and say, "Hi, Shalom Aleichem, how you doing? It's so great to see you," that's considered a little bit improper if you haven't yet greeted God, so to speak. And therefore, in the morning, I mean, I'm not telling you to be rude to people, but giant going out of your ways to saying hello to people before you've spoken to God is not considered proper. In general, doing anything large before davening in the morning is not considered proper. One of our first things that we should have on our early slate of things to do in the morning is to talk to God and then go about your normal business. But let me repeat again, you don't have to be rude to anybody. Just make certain that first in your plans for the morning is davening and God. There are those people who need to exercise before davening in the morning. If for whatever reason your schedule makes it that you can't arrange it any other way, then some rabbis allow it, but we always try to make davening, if possible, one of the early things of our morning. You're not supposed to learn any Torah, go to any Jewish shir and learn Torah until you first say the bracha of Birkas HaTorah. It's in your siddur near the beginning. The special blessing for Torah learning should be said before you go to any shir or whatever. But here's an interesting one. If your friend asks you a Jewish law in the morning, and you haven't said the bracha for Torah yet, and he says, "Hey, is this kosher?" And you go, "Yeah, it's kosher, it's allowed," or "It's not kosher, it's not allowed." You say, "Uh-oh, I wasn't allowed to do that because I just sort of taught Torah before I said Birchas HaTorah, the bracha of Torah." And no, that's not a problem. See, if your friend asks you a Jewish law and you just tell him you can do that or you can't do that, that's a proper thing to tell a fellow Jew. It's only called Torah learning if you start explaining and giving the reasons and saying the background of it. But just to tell your friend, "Hey, you're not allowed to tear that, or you're not allowed to do that," or something like that, that you're allowed to say even if you have not yet recited the bracha of the morning for Torah. But if you're going to go hear a shir, someone's going to teach you something before davening, a 15-minute little class before davening, then you could go to it, but say Birchas HaTorah, the special bracha for Torah, before you go to that class. Thanks for logging on. Have a great Shabbos, and log on again tomorrow, after Shabbos, for more. Bye-bye.